to be in the presence of somebody with so much value and experience. I never understood what motivational speaking was. I'd never read a motivational book. We never had access to any of this. I'd never heard of podcasts or YouTube videos or even attended a networking session. I mean, I was 18, fresh out of college. And when I heard about Jim Rohn being a speaker, people just kept talking about him with such reverence. And I couldn't understand why people were putting him on such a pedestal. So that intrigued me. And so I worked out how to get to this event. And, being from a very, very, very closed, very, very, it's a community that holds you tight. It's a very close-knit community. You do not leave to go anywhere. You do not even go 10 kilometers from your house without everybody going with you. So when I say that I had to come out of my shell in so many ways, I had to develop courage to even ask my mother if I could even go on this trip. And it was weeks of begging before she even said, yes, I can. But the thing that stood out for me is the reverence in the way they spoke about him. And something about that actually made sense to me. And I wondered, how can I be in that position of influence? And when I got there and listened to him speak about being kind and gracious, and the gentleness in the way he spoke, it just filled my soul on a very deep level. I became hooked on every word that he said, and I could not stop listening to him. So when he finished speaking, something in my head said, you need to know this person, you need a photograph of this person. And they had announced that no one is allowed to take photographs during the event or even after, unless you had paid for VIP status to get into the room with him for a photo. Now, I didn't understand all of these nuances, and I think being gullible and naive actually helped me in that situation. I did not know the rules. It's like, the bumblebee flies because nobody told it couldn't. So I ran up with my camera. I shoved into somebody's hand and I said, take the photo, take the photo. I jumped onto stage with him. I grabbed him and I just said, smile. And he did. They clicked the photo. I just saw a lot of people running at me. There were bodyguards running at me and security guards saying, you're not allowed, and give me the camera. I ran with the camera. I was not giving it back because something within me actually spoke to me and said this was a moment that will never be forgotten. For me, the humility in that moment, the fact that him being such an incredible man, such a man of wisdom, and so world renowned. And I just said, smile, and he did. For me, that was
Yeah.
fascinating. And when I walked away, I bought as many books and I started listening to his words of wisdom to fill me on a different level. And then I realized all the things I'd never known, all the things I'd never had access to, and it awakened with me the curiosity to grow and to actually pursue more of this in line with motivation and inspiration, how I can change my life from the environment I was in of a close-knit community to becoming a person who traveled around the world and then curious about other cultures.